Hey, Sassy Sabby, what brings you by?
I want to swing by and ask you a few questions.
Sure, what kind of questions do you have for me?
Well, I was watching some of your videos on RxHealthyHabits.com, and I was just wondering about a few things.
Okay, sure, fire away. Go ahead.
Well, it's going to be rapid fire because, well, this isn't a problem that Elizabeth has, but you tend to be a bit verbose.
Oh my goodness, is that a compliment, Sassy Sabby? I think I'll take it as one.
Anyway, I get the healthy habits and Rx Healthy Habits, but where does the Rx fit in?
Funny you should ask. As a lot of you may know, Rx is really at the top of a lot of prescriptions, or it used to be. And it's there because back in the day, they were written out in Latin, and Rx is an abbreviation for recipe.
So, recipe, but also Rx is kind of a symbol for pharmacy. We're both pharmacists, so one of the things we bring to Rx Healthy Habits is, yes, we're going to talk about Rx, we're going to talk about healthy habits, but as pharmacists, I think we bring an added level of credibility to the science behind health, especially weight loss.
I see. Why do you create and continue to build the Rx Healthy Habits brand?
Well, Sabby, we were involved for many decades in what we refer to now as healthcare is really sick care. And we recognize that. And sadly, we didn't have a pathway to pursue healthcare until we began Rx Healthy Habits. And so what we want to do is help other people to develop healthy habits that help them with their own health care, rather than working within the sick care realm, if you will, where all you treat are symptoms and disease states. So we'd like to avoid that.
So we're not saying that there's not a need for sick care. When you're sick, we've both been there, gravely sick. Thank God we had medicine and pharmaceuticals to help us. But what we're saying, though, is self-health care can keep you in a safer place. So also, guess what? When you have something that's giving you life, that makes you feel good, you got your stamina back, you can do things you could never do before, you want to pay it forward. So now we're paying it forward. Does that make sense, Abby?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Who can be helped with the content on Rx Healthy Habits?
Well, that's a good one. I'm going to start off with that, and I'm going to defer to Elizabeth. I'm going to say that anybody who's got a mindset where they want to get a healthier body, a healthier mind, learn some habits of health that's going to help them on their journey. I would say anybody who wants to be better when it comes to taking care of themselves, mind, body, and spirit. I mean, I guess, because when you have those two things in going well for you, everything else becomes so much better. Getting to normal weight and keeping it there.
This is a lot of great help that you offer people, but do you make money with Rx Healthy Habits?
Well, yes, we don't make money off the content generation, but if somebody comes on board and wants to know how to get to normal weight and they invest in themselves, we help them on their journey. And that journey is going to require our help, but they're also going to be buying some things to help them stay on track. And I'm not apologetic to say that we don't make money from that, because we give them something that they've been dying to have back, and that's their health. So what's their health worth? So I don't know if that answers the question, but the majority of the content that people are going to have is all free. Now someday, Sassy, I'm looking to do some ebooks. We're looking to do some online courses. We have a lot of things planned, but at this point, it's all free.
So if people see this and they're serious about losing weight and transforming their health, how do they go about finding out if they're a good match for Rx Healthy Habits?
Oh, thanks for asking that question, Sabby. On the website, RxHealthyHabits.com, there is a jot form, just a little file that you chase down, and it brings you to a health assessment. And what that really does is just gives us information about where you're at right now, where you want to go, goals that you may have in your mind, that things you'd like to achieve, maybe things you really let go of and maybe don't even think you can still do, but would like to try. It gives us an idea of where you're coming from so that we can put together a customized program just specifically for each and every person that responds to that. We don't give the same program out to every single person. We customize it, and ideally for every single person, it's just a little bit different. If you don't have if the link doesn't work or something doesn't go quite right, just email us and we'll either get you a new link or send it to you some other way. But absolutely. And from there, what we do, we get on a phone call and answer questions, and then it's up to each and every person that responds to that whether or not they decide that we're a good fit for them.
And some people hesitate to do the form because they fear that we're going to have all this information. I don't want to divulge other stuff. I don't know, if this information is going to be shared. We share no information. It's just for us, and all it's for is just for you and I to decide, like Elizabeth said, if there's a need for a call, if we can find out if there's some special considerations before we can get on a call, based on your situation, based on your health status. So it's an assessment. That's all it is. And I think it's really good because it really gets into some questions that you need to really ask yourself before you start on a program, and before we take you on as a client, because we want you to succeed. We also want to make sure we do no harm. So does that answer that well?
That answers it perfectly. Thank you guys so much for answering those questions.
Well, you're going to come back with more someday because we got a lot more answers.
Oh, absolutely.
And all we can share with you folks in closing is that we can only share what we know, what we've done, what we've accomplished, what works. We're not trying to say we're experts, but we've got some credibility because of the people we helped and because of the fact we did it ourselves also. So until next video with Sassy Sabby.